All right, where do you want me?
Bouncing on my knee. Where do you think I want ya? Hands on the hilt, stupid. Oi, both hands.
Roles don't come much more iconic than this. How did you get involved, first of all?
Well, I had been a giant fan of the Arthurian legend since my childhood, particularly through John Boorman's Excalibur. That was a film that I became obsessed with in the years between about 6 and 8. I must have watched it 50 times, and so I was very familiar with the Arthurian legend. And then in my teenage years, I'd read like The Once and Future King and a couple of the other versions of this story, and so there'd always been a sort of, I suppose, in the back of my mind, an aspiration at some point in my life to be involved in a telling of the Arthurian legend. And then coupled with the fact that I'd been since my late teens an enormous fan of Guy Ritchie's, when I heard that he was doing this, I just immediately intuited what that would be. I could sort of see the vision for what Guy would do, and I thought it was quite exciting. So I just went about pursuing Guy and seeing if I could get myself involved.
It's quite a different take on the story from the ones you would have grown up watching. I mean, was that something that clicked with you immediately?
Well, it did, and just from the one line pitch that I heard of Guy Ritchie's King Arthur, I saw what I thought that was going to be and was very excited. But you know, there is a big attempt to sort of dress it up and make it feel original and fresh, in a departure from the versions of the Arthurian legend that we'd seen before. But what was actually more exciting was the similarities, how respectful Guy was being to the essence of the narrative, and that's really what excited me the most. I mean, you know, we dress it up and we make it a bit more young and fresh and cheeky and hopefully exciting and relevant to a contemporary audience, to a younger audience. But what's really exciting about the Arthurian legend is what's always been exciting about it, and the reason that it's been told for 1400 years, that it's swinging for the fences thematically and asking the big questions, is what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? And I think the answer that it attempts to provide is the importance of ascending to the best version of ourselves.
I mean, for high fantasy, it is very physical, isn't it? I mean, that must have taken quite a lot of preparation.
It did. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of physical requirement, both in getting myself into the appropriate shape, you know, doing a lot of push-ups and pull-ups and that sort of malarkey, and then a lot of sword fighting training. Guy had wanted to make sure that this fighting felt fresh and unique and something that, you know, something a bit different than the way sword fighting had ever been handled before. But it was uncertain what that was, so we did many versions, and each version required me to do an enormous amount of preparation. So every time we'd shoot a scene and it'd be like, it's good, it's not quite right, I'd think, oh Christ, that's another 100 hours of preparation for me. So yeah, he kept me busy.
You've got the wrong man, sire. I was born in a brothel on a bridge in Londinium.
The sword can only be drawn by Uther Pendragon or his direct heir. You felt it, didn't you? The power. That's what put you out. You just don't know how to control it.
So what happens now?
You know what happens now. You're quickly becoming a legend.
And like all Guy Ritchie's films, it's a great ensemble cast. How was it working with all those people? Because there's a lot of great people in each role.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he really filled the ranks with a lot of exciting people. You know, particularly exciting for me, just because of my historical connection with him, was working with Aidan Gillen again. Because I'd worked, with Aidan when I was about 17, and he'd had an enormous impact on me, just in appreciating the importance of integrity in a career and having a very specific vision of what you want one's career to be and being uncompromising in the pursuit of that. And I learned all of that from Aidan, and it always felt like a very grand debt of gratitude to him. So I was excited to work with him again and get to say really just thank you.
And finally, if we come back again, would you be up for playing the role again? I mean, you hope there's more in the story?
I do. Literally nothing would make me happier than to come back and do another one of these films. I think Guy feels the same way, but you know, we only tell the first chapter of the story in Legend of the Sword, Arthurian Legend's long, sweeping, epic story, and there's arguably the most exciting part of the narrative still to come. So creatively, it would be very exciting, sort of life experience-wise. Working with Guy is such a joy, so that would be great to come back, but that's not up to us, my pal. That is up to the audience to decide. You know, if there's an appetite for this, then I think we'll rush back to doing it. But, you know, again, these are very expensive to make, these films, so I think the studio want to get a bit of their investment back before they give us another big fat check to go and make another one, so we'll see.
You wanted the prophecy. This is your prophecy. The man who pulled sword from stone. Behold, you're born king.